Hey guys, welcome back. And now we're talking about paint effects. So paint effects can be accessed on the rendering menu. You'll see paint effects, and you can get brush. So you can get your brush from there. Let's wait for this to load up. The airbrush is the default brush. So if I do default paint, I'll just do a default stroke like that. And this default stroke is made up of a couple of things. First, there is a stroke. Actually, first there's a path, and second there's a stroke. The path was the curve that I was drawing that's going inside of this stroke. Let's see if we can see it. Let me draw a smash off. There you go. That, my friend, is the path, and the stroke itself is this guy. Now the stroke can have, let me just come here to default paint, that's the stroke. It can have tubes, and you can access tubes by going to tubes. And right now it doesn't, this guy doesn't have tubes, but if I tell it to have tubes, now it has tubes. Okay, and you can adjust a whole bunch of attributes, but I'm not going to get that in depth with paint effects. But keep that in mind, there's always a path and there's always a stroke. And the reason why I mentioned that is because now let's bring in and talk about the curves that we have. See, if I have this curve and I go to paint effects, get brush, and I select this brush, then I can actually select the curve, paint effects, curve utilities, attach brush to curves, and that would attach that brush to this curve. Now if I didn't have that stroke selected but I had another stroke, I'm gonna do, I don't know, let's do hair gold curl. If I had that guy selected and just select this guy for, paint effects, curve, attach brush to curves. Now that stroke is attached onto this guy. Okay, so always keep that in mind, and there's more values I can change here as far as paint effects. For example, you can come to tubes, creation, and increase the tubes per step, and now there's more along that hole. Okay, so there's a lot of attributes you can play with here. Can increase or decrease their segments. So do a little bit of experimentation. I don't want to get too in depth with this because these guys, not all paint effect strokes render with mental array. Okay, so for now we're just gonna keep it like that. Just keep in mind the fact that you can attach any stroke you want to a NURBS curve. Okay, and of course, let me just undo here. If you deform your curve, then the paint effects will follow. Okay, so that's the second part. So we have talked about some of the basics of curves, or actually everything you need to know about curves, I think, and now how to attach the paint effects to those curves and some of its behavior. Okay, so on the next tutorial we will start talking about dynamic hair.